Welcome to the fourth and final lesson. In this lesson, we'll talk about the challenges of documenting changes being made over time to your Jira instance and how Salto can help create a record and source of truth for these changes. While Jira does offer an audit log for changes to most configuration elements, it can be hard to sift through this log for a specific change or to tie a specific change to a specific task. And what if you'd like to get notified when these changes are made? In this lesson, we'll show how you can use Salto to create a unified documentation process to make sure that all changes are documented and easily accessible, as well as how to set up proactive monitoring to be notified when changes are made. I'm back in my Salto account, and here's the deployment that I just completed in the previous lesson. So Salto, out of the box, will offer some documentation of the deployments that are being done. If I go to the compare and deploy, I'll be able to see who did the deployment, the direction, the date, and if I click into the deployment, I can see exactly what was deployed and the exact changes that were made. For more granular documentation, you can integrate Salto with a Git repository, where you can push changes directly to your Git repo to record the changes being made. Here, I can see the exact changes being made to the underlying files as part of the deployment that was just done, the status that I added, and the workflow that I just added. And now my Git repository is going to hold a record of all the changes being made to my Jira environment. And if I come back to Salto and the Audit tab, this will list out all of the changes that have been pushed up to my connected Git repository. As well, Salto is going to track all of the changes happening to the environment, and it's going to cross-reference those changes with the changes that have been pushed up to your Git repository. If any of those changes have not been pushed up, Salto will reflect that as an unpushed file. I can click Preview Push, and I'll be able to see any changes that have happened out of band. So here it looks like someone added a business unit field directly in production that wasn't part of a deployment. Now let's say that this was part of a production hotfix or something that I added directly. I can go ahead and say this is related to maybe an unrelated ticket, and I can push those changes and still get everything documented regardless if it's happening through a deployment or happening directly in the environment. Now, what happens if I want to get notified of changes? Salto will allow you to be notified on specific changes by setting up a monitor. So for example, here I've set up a monitor that anytime a workflow is modified, it's going to send me an email. You can also send this to Slack of the exact workflow that was modified and what that modification was. So next is a final quiz to review what we've learned over the past lessons about the key challenges Jira administrators face and how Salto helps them address each one head on. So thank you for joining our Salto for Jira course, and we'll see you later.